The following slides share more information from Albert Louie at the Hawaii Department of Agriculture's Quality Assurance Division that applies to all produce farms. Food safety begins on the farm. All food safety principles are based on this guide. Performing a food safety audit allows buyers to feel buying produce from your farm is safe. Your products are free from contamination that could lead to foodborne illness. It may increase your market share because other farmers are not taking the same steps. It may provide some level of legal protection for your business in case of foodborne outbreaks. Some buyers may require you to be food safety certified. Food safety audits are performed on farms, greenhouses, with harvesting crews, in packing houses, processing plants, cold storages, and wholesale distribution centers. Areas the Hawaii Department of Agriculture auditors look at when doing a food safety audit include source of water and water quality, if manure is used in the field, worker health and hygiene practices, pest control practices, cleanliness of the field and packing area, cleanliness of the trucks, record keeping, or if a traceback or mock recall has been performed, adjacent land use, fertilizer records, pesticide records, and food security. The types of food contamination are microbiological, chemical, and physical. Generic E. coli bacteria counts in irrigation water must be less than 126 mpn and no salmonella. Do not use fresh chicken or cattle manure in the field. If you use manure, make sure that it has been composted and in the ground for 120 days before harvest. Do not apply manure in the fields that are water saturated and prone to flooding and may contaminate other crops. Keep records of dates applied, which field, and how much was applied. A clean toilet and hand washing facility should be within a 5-minute walk for your workers in the field and should have potable water, liquid soap, and a single-use paper towel. Workers should wash hands after using the toilet and after eating before handling produce. First aid kits should be available to workers. Don't let workers with cuts and open sores handle produce. No smoking, drinking of liquids, or eating in the growing area. Sick workers should not handle produce. Clean drinking water should be supplied to workers. Copies of all chemical labels used on the farm should be on file. Have a material safety data sheet for all chemicals used on the farm in a file folder. Have a documented pest control program on file. Have your pesticides and fertilizer application records on file and keep inventory of your chemicals. Store your chemicals separately in a locked storage cabinet. Pesticide and fertilizer application records should include product name, EPA registration number, the date of application, the field number where it was applied, what produce it was applied to, the number of acres it was sprayed or broadcast, the amount of product applied to the field, the worker re-entry period, and the number of days to harvest from the time of application. Do not allow animals, including birds and pets, to go into the growing fields. Do not allow wild animals near your pond. Remove caked-on mud from boots when walking into wet fields to reduce the spread of plant and human diseases. Don't allow infants or toddlers into your fields. Do not allow workers to eat or smoke in the packing area. Keep out all birds and pests. Protect overhead lights with lighting shields. Remove soil and clean the produce before packing. Do not use wooden surface packing tables. They may have bacteria in the cracks and crevices. Make sure trucks are clean and sanitary. Dirty vehicles can contaminate produce with harmful germs. Wash and sanitize trucks if the same trucks have carried animals, fertilizer, or other harmful substances before transporting produce. Use refrigerated trucks when possible. Keeping records is very important for food safety. Records should show daily temperature records for produce coolers, water test results, worker health, worker food safety training, equipment maintenance records, and facility and restroom cleaning schedules. Records show that the farm is following good agriculture and handling practices. Here are record documentation requirements. Document traceback and recall programs. Glass, blood, open wound, sick workers, infant and toddler policy. MSDS sheets, copy of labels of all chemicals, chemical usage and inventory logs, pest control service, and maps of bait stations and traps, cooler and truck temperature logs, and a master cleaning schedule. Farmers need to keep records of food safety and food security training, like water testing records, visitor and contractor sign-in logs, maps of your field with field numbers, toilet servicing logs, and fertilizer and pesticide application records. To prepare for a product recall or traceback, all your boxes should be labeled with product name, weight, farm name, and address. Have a written recall plan on file. All packages should have a code. In case of product recall, you can find where the product was sent to, the packing date, and which field it came from using that code. You should test your recall procedure by performing an annual mock recall and document the procedures with contact phone numbers and keep it on file. For more information, go to the University of Hawaii CTAR website. Food biosecurity is a new issue that has been added to the food safety program. It intends to minimize the risk of intentional tampering by criminal or terrorist action to contaminate the food operation, people, or produce with chemical or biological agents. Since the 9/11 terrorist attack, the emphasis has been placed on protecting the nation's food supply. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has published Food Security Preventive Measure Guidance for food producers, processors, transporters, retailers, and food importers as a guideline. Areas looked at while doing food security audits are security procedures, physical security, employee screening, computer systems, raw materials and packaging, operational security of water and air, security of finished products, no trespassing signs, keeping inventory of agricultural chemicals, training workers to report suspicious activities to supervisors, restricting access to growing fields, locked gates, securing the wells, securing chemicals, and keeping personal items away from packing and harvesting operations. Here are areas of concern for Hawaii's farmers: water usage, portable toilets and hand washing facilities, and record keeping. Food safety audits should be performed at least a minimum of once a year. It's not mandatory, but your buyer may require it. A passing score for a food safety audit is 80%. A passing audit does not guarantee safe food, but shows that the farmer adheres to generally recognized good agriculture and handling practices. Hawaii Department of Agriculture auditing costs between $750 and $1,100. Average audits take about 8 to 10 hours, including walkthrough, checking records, and submitting data into the computer to transfer to the mainland. So are you interested in a food safety audit or need help getting ready for one? For coaching, contact the County Extension Office in Wahiawa. For auditing, contact Albert Louie at the Hawaii Department of Agriculture. Food safety rules and regulations continue to evolve. Viewers shall check with relevant federal and state authorities, academic institutions, and food safety experts for particular rules and questions. This movie serves as a reference only. The Hawaii Department of Agriculture does not guarantee the full accuracy of the information contained in this movie. Hey, thank you for watching this movie. Funding for the movie comes from the USDA Agriculture Marketing Services Federal State Marketing Improvement Program and the Hawaii Department of Agriculture. We encourage entrepreneurs and investors to start new farming businesses in Hawaii. How do you do that? Well, the first step is Call Liz at the numbers given.